And the first question, we're going to go to Steve Fulop on this one. Everybody's going to have actually 30 seconds to respond to this one. And we're just going to go right down the line. Everybody's going to get to answer the same question from the students. All right, question from the student is, what policies will you implement to attract and retain high-quality teachers? Steve Fulop, that question goes to you first.
Well, I think, first of all, in order to retain high-quality teachers, we need to do a couple of things. We need to roll back some of the changes that Christie made, particularly around the tier system. That's number one. The healthcare changes that Christie made are problematic as well, because you cannot attract teachers into the profession under those constraints that were created then. It might have sounded good at the time, but I think looking back over the last 15 years, you see it's problematic. Finally, I think we need to be investing in our school structures. You have schools throughout the state of New Jersey that don't have air conditioning, that are outdated facilities. We need to update them, because I think reasonably, nobody will want to be in an environment that is not clean, that is not air conditioning, that doesn't feel safe, that doesn't feel modern. So I think those 3 steps that you can do to improve teacher retention and attract new teachers into the profession.
Josh Gottheimer.
Thanks. You know, my mom was an educator. We got the best schools in America and New Jersey. I'm very proud of that, and that's how we get a lot of people to want to come to Jersey and stay in Jersey. But we got to pay our teachers well. And that means we got to bring COLAs back. We actually pay them and make sure they can afford to stay here. We can't change deals on them midstream because, listen, our kids, our future, and they rely on the best educators. So that means whether you're talking about universal pre-K, which I believe in, or all-day kindergarten, we've got to have the best physical structure for them, but most importantly, every kid in Jersey should get a great education no matter where they live or where they're from.
Steve Sweeney.
We need to pay them better. I agree with Josh. These are very, very intelligent people that go into any other field and make a lot of money. I'm proud that we actually fixed the health care. We did a thing called Chapter 44 where taxpayers and the teachers actually pay less now than they were paying. You know, so again, paying teachers what they're worth, we couldn't pay them. It's just too much money. But we do need to pay them better than what we're paying them right now, because they have a lot of choices and they're choosing to educate our children. Because they're educating our children, we got to make sure we take care of them and their families.
Mikey Sherrill.
So during COVID, I had 4 school-age kids, and it was pretty horrible for families, and it was really tough on teachers. And I heard them, because my kids were on their computers at the kitchen table, month after month after month, doing really yeoman's work to try to keep kids engaged, and they're burnt out. And that's why we really need to support them with new teachers. In Lacey Township, K through 12, every class is over 30 kids. That's too much. So that's why I would have certificate programs for long-term substitutes, pay student teachers so they can afford to go into education, and then have on-ramps for teaching in programs like high-intensity tutoring, so that those people who come out to tutor our kids who find they love teaching already can have a pathway to becoming a teacher in our school system.
Mara Sprackla.
I was an educator for 23 years in Newark Public Schools. Obviously, the first thing is increase teacher pay, fully fund the pension, restore cost of living increases, get rid of the tier system at the same time, make all schools community schools to provide teachers with the scaffolding and the support that they need in the morning and the afternoon so they can spend their time educating students and not dealing with problems that students have. So you need to build community schools there. You need to give teachers more control over staff development. They need to be involved in their own staff development to create what they need in a classroom. And lastly, this over-reliance on state tests, we need to begin to move away from that to give teachers more control in their classroom so they can begin to judge their work on the kids from moving them from one place to another, not this unrealistic goal that people put on them.